Hey guys, this is Tucker with CrossFit Incredible, back for our quarantine workout for Thursday. Alright, so first piece I'm going to go over is, this is kind of an outdoor piece, so if you're afraid to go outside, this one probably isn't going to work for you, but I'll give you some options that you can best try this anyways. So first off, as far as the workout goes, it's going to be 2 times through. So what you're going to do is you're going to run, bike, or row. So some of you might have rowers or a bike, like a bicycle outside, or you can run. So just go 2 minutes. Once you're done with 2 minutes, you're going to jump off and do a plank, so 60-second plank, right? So if you're outside, I'd recommend plank off the hands, not the elbows. So obviously, come down into a plank, push through the toes, chin to the chest, butt tucked under, engage the abs. From there, you'll do 60-second of just body weight alternating reverse lunges. So when I do my reverse lunges, I can come down at an angle, so about a 45-degree angle. So step back, knee down, back to the front, step back, knee down, back to the front. So make sure when you're doing these, you're stepping back, hips over knee, knees over ankle, drop the back knee to the ground, use the back leg more than the front to distribute the weight evenly to make it easier on yourself. From there, if you have an object or something outside that you can do a wall sit on, if not, you can do a 90-degree hold, so 30 seconds. So just come down to 90, 30-second hold. This will be challenging in itself. So 30 seconds here. Next up, we're going to do shoulder taps. So again, you'll be in a front leaning rest or tall plank position, and then just shoulder taps. So whenever we're doing our shoulder taps, make sure whichever hand we're taking off, that contralaterally, so opposites, we're pressing aggressively through the ground to balance yourself so we're not getting any kind of pelvic shift. So when I do my taps, you shouldn't see my body shift like that. Okay, so try to resist that. From there, hit the streets again for another 2 minutes, or on your bike for 2 minutes, and then repeat it one more time through. So if you wanted to try to do this at home and didn't have a bike, a rower, or you couldn't go outside to run, you can do wall runs. So the way a wall run would work is you come over to a wall, put your hands against the wall, lean slightly forward, and then run against the wall. So obviously, I wouldn't go ham on this, but you can mimic running outside by doing a wall run. So same kind of deal. Next workout, what we have for you is a 15-minute EMOM. So remember, EMOM stands for every minute on the minute. So you can just download a timer on your phone, use one of those apps. WOD Time is a really good one. I use that one myself. For 15 minutes, so you go for 3 different stations. So station number 1, this one's going to be a 15 to 20 reps with either a dumbbell or a kettlebell for push press. So we have equipment checkout today. So for those of you who come and check out equipment, we had a few of you come in. You can get dumbbells, kettlebells, bands, ab mats, whatever you need. So depending on what you have as far as equipment goes, if you have a dumbbell, great. So you could do dumbbell push press. So remember, when you're doing your push presses, make sure that you keep the elbows in tight, keep the front head of the dumbbell on the shoulder and the other one out in front. So you don't want to be chicken winging your shoulders out like so. So make sure when you're doing these, you're using your legs. So dip, drive through the heel, squeeze the butt, press the head through, same, press the head through, okay? So if you want to use a kettlebell, you can do the same thing. So hold the kettlebell in the front rack. Try not to hold it out to the side with the shoulders. So chest, hand to the center of the chest, dip, drive through, back down, dip, drive through. The biggest mistake I see with these guys is the shoulders coming out to the side. I don't want you reaming out your shoulder. So as you come down, think about elbow out in the front, keep it close to the body, right? We always want to use our center of mass to control its center of mass. So the closer we keep the weight to us, the better off we'll be, and we'll be in a more advantageous mechanical position. So from there, we're going to go to dual dumbbell snatches or kettlebell swings. So if you have 2 kettlebells, or dumbbells rather, you can do dual snatches. So kind of mimicking a kettlebell swing if you don't have one. And you can also use one of these if you wanted to. But so for these, it's kind of like the top of a devil's press, right? So coming through, overhead, through, overhead, just like so, okay? From there, also another variation if you wanted to not do it from the hang. So for those of you who can't maintain back position, So keeping our lumbar curve as we're coming down, right? Maintain position. For those of you who tend to round, I want you to go from the hang like I just demonstrated. For those of you who have good mobility, you can touch the ground with these and then do actual snatches. Make sense? Good. From there, if you don't have dumbbells, but you do have a kettlebell, we can do kettlebell swings. So just be mindful when we're doing our kettlebell swings. Start with the bell out in front of you. Make sure before you initiate your swing, your chest is up, eyes are up, back is engaged. Hike it back, keep it close to your crotch, and push through the hips. So as you're coming through here, make sure as you come back with the bell, try to hit yourself in the butt so it stays close to the crotch. You want to make sure that it doesn't pull you down out of position and you start to look down around your back with low swings, because that's going to be not beneficial for you. So make sure you keep it close, push through the heels, lock the knees out, and breathe out as you extend. So you can do Russian swings or make it a little harder and go American all the way over top. Next up, we got 30 to 45 second FLR. So out of that minute, you'll be working for 30 to 45 seconds. So FLR is a front leaning rest, so just top foot push up, basically a plank off the hands, right? Stay forward, that's why it's a front leaning rest, so you're keeping the shoulders front of the wrist, toes pointed, butt tucked under, chin to the chest. So you'll be at each of these stations for a minute. You shouldn't be working for more than 40 seconds at each of those minutes. If not, scale this back, okay? So that's your first workout. 15-minute EMOM, stations on each. Just make sure you rest at least 20 seconds of each minute. That way you don't gas yourself out. So last but not least, we have one more workout. It's 4 sets of max reps at 30-second intervals. So you'll be at 3 different stations with a 60-second rest after you go through all 3. First one is going to be floor press. So if you got 1 dumbbell or 1 kettlebell, you'll set yourself up here on the ground. You can do single arm. Make sure come all the way down to the floor, press all the way to the top. Make sure you're not shortening it here. Push all the way through. Think about pushing your palm to the ceiling to help lock out that elbow. So you can do this with a kettlebell or with a dumbbell. If you only have 1, just do 30 seconds on one arm and then do 30 seconds on the other. So you just add in a station. From there, you'll do a Superman hold. So remember, Superman holds are back extensions on the floor. So you'll lay prone down, face down on the ground, head down, hands up, squeeze the bum, legs off the ground as high as you can. From there, you'll flip over to the back. You'll be in a hollow hold. So for those of you who can't do the hollow hold very well, I'll show you a couple of skilled variations. So what you want to do is start off kind of in a dead bug position. So low back pushed against the floor, obliques pushed out, knees over hips, ankles in line with knees, legs spaced slightly apart, hands straight down. So this is going to push your low back against the floor to engage your core, chin to your chest, your head's off the ground. So once this variation is easy for you, you can start increasing your resistance by putting your legs out in front of you, holding one leg out at a time, eventually getting to 2 legs out from here, eventually making it harder to hands overhead. Just make sure that when you're doing these, you don't lose your low back position and you keep pushing your belly button through the floor. That way your core stays engaged. From there, you'll do a 60-second rest and you'll repeat this 4 times. So I know some of you guys didn't come in today to get equipment, which is fine, but you know, in order to be able to do some of this stuff at home and add some resistance, we're not just getting tired of doing body weight stuff all the time. What we can do is we can take a bag, a backpack, a duffel bag, whatever you may have, and I got one here in the gym, so I just grabbed a random duffel bag that I found laying around. You can take some laundry, throw some clothes in here, whatever objects you have. I feel like if you pack it full of laundry, it keeps it a little bit more stable, and it's more like a rucksack, so then it's a little bit firmer. So take some clothes, throw it in there like I just did. We'll zip this guy up. Now I have an odd object, which I can add a little bit of resistance and to do some of these movements. So if I didn't have a kettlebell or a dumbbell, I can add in one of these objects as far as when we're doing anything that goes as far as thrusters, holding your bag, pressing through, like so. From here we can do lunges with these as well. so you can add resistance and add weight with these. Also, we can do ground to overhead. You're going from here, here, back down. Also, depending on what kind of bag you got, you can do swings. So some backpacks have a handle at the top, some have handles on the sides, on the front, right? You can, as long as you got enough room, you can do swings as well. Obviously, this one isn't very heavy, but just different variations of different things you can use to add some weight, to add some resistance, just to break things up. So I'm gonna put a couple workouts in later on this week. They have odd objects, so you can use backpacks, duffel bags, whatever you have. Fill these with laundry, with books, whatever you got, just to add some resistance and make it a little bit, make things a little bit more challenging for you. Let's see. That pretty much is it for today's workout. I will post everything on SugarWOD. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us, guys. Hopefully some of this content's keeping you guys happy, keeping your fitness in check, and preventing you from getting too stir crazy, being quarantined up like everybody else. So any questions, comments, or concerns, please comment below. Otherwise, look for the next video, and see you guys soon.